Hey everyone, Mac is back. Today we're going to talk about Barret being Awakening and what his 4-star skill is, plus go over some of the advancements that they made, some of the buffs that they made to some of the 4-star commanders that are already out there to kind of give you an idea of, was it they're all good buffs of course, but what kind of, synergy they might be with other commanders that might actually work well together. So let's get to it. First, let's take a look at what they actually buffed for these commanders. So you can see here Jon Snow, his Bloody Battle. It says for troop type there's not in the front row, the buff providing critical chance is increased from 15 to 25 seconds. The Julian's Widow Lover, the max damage was increased to 16% from 12%. Sonara, the extra damage went from 50%, chance to trigger went 50% to 70%. And Kevin's chance to trigger increased from 10% to 15%. And you can also see here that Sandor Clegane is going to be released at reset today. So as you can see here, at the very end there where it says the critical 150% critical hit for 25 seconds, that actually was increased from 15 seconds. So that's actually quite significant, I believe. I mean, you're doing this, chance of doing it 20% of the time, so it gives it extra chances to proc off. I think this is pretty huge for Jon Snow in general. And then looking at the other ones, let's go to, there he is, Julian, and we'll check out his real quick. And every one attack made, the lineup troops of Commander Julian belongs to the troop stack do 2% damage increased. And you can say it went up to 16% at the max, so that's a good little boost for him. I don't think it's really too significant. It's a little later in the battle, of course, because of these one every attack, but I think that's good. He'll have good synergy with Sonara as well, who actually was increased hers, where you can see here when allied melee troops, and they changed this to make sure that it says infantry, cav, and spearmen. It started off as every troop, even bows, were getting it as well, but for melee troops, which I think is a good change because you don't want to buff the bows too much because they're just already OP as is. But use normal attacks, and there is a 70% chance of attacking one time. That used to be 50%, so 20% increase in that to do the 30% damage. That's a really good extra damage for her. Some good synergy if you're trying to add her with someone else here, like for instance Kevin. They added him here. You can see when each allied lineup in the front row uses a normal attack, there's a 15% chance to apply a buff on the allied lineup with the greatest losses, creating a protective shield which reduces 10% non-skill damage for 2 seconds. Damage reduction effect can stack up to 50%. So that would be a very good one to kind of combine together with Sonara and even Julian as well. So it's a really good lineup that you could put together there. And now we talk about Barret's 4-star, and it is whenever the front row attacks 8 times, there is a 50% chance to inflict a 5-second bleed effect that deals damage equal to 20% of the troop's current attack. However, Barret cannot cast an active army skill. So the bad news is he can't use his active army skill, which kind of is what is his trade-off for it. But whenever that front row attacks 8 times, it's a 50% chance to do this bleed effect, which is similar to he has a bleed effect in his skills as well when you fight like the training grounds or some of these other different events that we have that are commander only. So what does that mean? Well, let's go. I'm going to have to kind of assume until we actually see him in play what it does, but I kind of think this is what's going to happen. So let's go take a look at a report. So this is a rebel camp that I did, and so I'm just going to use it as an example. So we're talking about the front row, so we talk about this whole A lineup here, and looking at the A lineup, the very first second, we're not getting any attacks at all. Then we go to 4 seconds into battle first, and we're looking at the first. This is how I think it's going to be, because there's 2 ways I think this could have gone. It could be that all these have to do proc off 8 times, like 8 individual attacks on their front line over here. I don't think that's true though. I think what's going to happen is it's just 8 total. So if we look at the 4-second attack here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go to 5 seconds, 6, 7, and then we go to 6 seconds, and that's where it's going to proc here at this when this happens here. And so when that does happen, there's a 50% chance of a 5-second bleed. So all these lineups here, like the very next lineup, 5-second, if it does proc off, then you're talking 20% damage here. When you're at 10,000, 20% of that's going to be 2,000. So 2,000 extra damage for each, for the next 5 seconds. So if you're looking at that, I mean, you're looking here 20%, so 2,000, 4,000. We're gonna go from 6 to 11 seconds. So 2, 4, and they're all very similar to that. In that, I mean, they're, I guess, a little bit less here as well. You have like 1,500 or so, 1,600 on some of these. But I mean, like just say for instance, these are all 10,000. So you're looking at 4,000 already have. 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. Dragon goes there. 32, 34. 34, then is your commanders. 34, 36, 38, 40, 42. So about 42,000. And like I said, these are all, I'm just putting numbers in here very similar to what this camp is. So you're looking at about 40,000 more during that time. And they're also, and then right after that it'll start all over again, so it could reproc. I mean, you're not going to get him to go off though, like on 11 seconds with all these other commanders. He's not going to be able to use active army skills. So I think it's a pretty good. I think it's a pretty good for free to play, because you're going to be able to buff that front line as well with his with his skills that he already has with his because he's infantry here, so the infantry health, infantry defense. So that'll actually go up too. Will go up as well, so that'll be something that you'll want. And then if you just look at his hidden ones, he has defense, health, and he also throws in actually some infantry attack as well. So you'll probably get like 15 to 16%, something like that, I would think, right around for that infantry attack. And his health and defense will actually go up. Should be around that. I guess, well, that's gonna be like 48% for these two, plus those. You're looking probably at like that 70% ish mark here for frontline. So that's very good. I think that he's worth it for your free to play if you're especially if you're using an infantry frontline, just because get him to 4 stars and you'll get a nice extra damage here. And especially if you're countering with spears, then that extra 20% damage will be very, very nice. So hope this helped you out a little bit, and I'll be back next time, hopefully here for Sandor and looking over his 4-star ability. Until next time, Mac out.